Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at creating a paper pad using the thermal binding heat binding machine. This is a relatively inexpensive heat binding machine. I got it from Amazon, and it works when you are trying to create a notebook, a journal, or anything that you might want to bind together using thermal heat glue um, strips. These are the strips that I used. This did come with some strips and covers. I did not use those because I am creating my own covers, and I'm not really doing a professionally bound book right now. I'm just really learning how to use the machine. So I grabbed a couple of jelly prints that I had created that I wanted to keep up with. And so I'm going to just bind them together and create a bound notebook. So when I want to use these prints in my projects, I could just go here. Everything's in one place, rip out whatever pieces I want, use them on my projects, and then all of my little sheets will be in one place. I did do a video not too long ago creating something similar using a spiral binding system that you can create that you can put your papers in and out, I guess change out your papers using the spiral binds. I'll link that below if you want to take a look. But this one is just using a simple thermal binding machine. It doesn't come with the great instructions, but I figured, after I figured it out, doing a couple of trial runs, I would sit down and make a video and let you see how it works. First thing you want to do is turn it on. It doesn't take long to heat up. I think in the past it's taken me about 2 or 3 minutes because I've done just a few different projects just to see how it worked. Let's see if I can find one or two. And they turned out pretty good. I mean, I like the way they turned out. I made a small paper pad, and it's bound, and I just used a piece of paper for the top portion of it, and it's just a little small jelly prints, just a way for me to keep up with my prints. I do a lot of collaging with the prints. In my junk journals, I will use them for my master boards, or just to rip out a little piece and put it on a paper for interest, because it'll have a little bit of texture in there. And of course, it just has whatever designs that I happen to print and whatever paint colors I use. So for this particular little pad, I just used a piece of paper, cut my strip to the width that I needed, wrapped it around, and popped it in here. And I think for this, I kept it in there for about, I guess about a minute or so. But anyway, this is one little notebook that I created earlier. This one is a little bit more uniform than the one that I'm going to do today. I just grabbed some prints, and then I used a couple of prints that I made a master board out of and cut down a little cover and a back cover here to use. And you'll see the papers aren't exactly lined up, but that's okay because this is really just a tear book. And if you are a junk journaler, art journaler, or anybody that does scrapbooking, you know that you always have a whole lot of stuff left over. And sometimes it's hard to keep up with your items. I have found that using some kind of binding system helps. Okay, so the important thing here is to make sure that you have your paper that you're trying to bind together all even at the end that you're going to bind it on, and have it touching the glue so that when you push it down in the machine, it actually has something to adhere to. This one, I'm going to need to probably use up some paper clips to keep it in place. So I am going to make sure that's pushed down as far as it'll go, so that the glue strip adheres to the papers that I have in here. I don't know if you can see it. Hopefully you can. Like I say, this is just for some papers that I'm going to hold on to. If you're going to create more professional bound books, then of course you may want to have a way to trim it down to make sure everything is even afterwards. Oh, you hear the beeping? That's telling me that the machine is heated up. I'm going to go through and make sure everything is ready. Okay. All right. And I'm going, right now it's set on 1. So I think that's 1 minute, depending on how thick your paper, the project that you have, you might want to have it on either 1, 2, or 3, 3 being the longest. I'm going to go ahead and use 2. And to change it from 1, which is about a minute, I guess, or so, to 2 minutes, and I think this third one is 3 minutes, you just want to hit select. But as you'll see now, it's warmed up. The warm and the run lights are on. That's telling me that it's ready to go. I'm going to hit select, and now I'm on number 2. I'm going to hit select again. 1 and 2 mean that when you have 1 and 2 both lit up, then it's actually number 3. So I'm going to go back to 1 and go back to 2 because I only want 2. Now, all you do is pull back this silver lever. You see how it opens up? Set your project down and close it. Okay? It automatically closes, and then you just wait. It will heat up that glue stick that is, or that glue strip that is between your papers and whatever cover you have. And so when it dry, it becomes, you know, kind of a gooey, liquidy type of glue. And when it heats up, everything that's touching will hopefully stick to each other. And so you'll have your cover, which, like what I did here, stick to your pages, which I had here, if you can see. And once it cools off, they'll all kind of be stuck together, if that makes any sense. But this is a really cool machine. I think I paid roughly $50 for it. It is very similar to the We Are Memory Keepers machine. I don't know about how it, you know, compares size-wise, but this one I can do a full-size book, and I think it's up to a couple of inches, maybe 3 inches, if I want to bind something. If you have old books and you want to, you know, reattach the cover or spine to the little text block, I think this would be very helpful. You can buy aftermarket glue strips like I did. I mean, it's a pretty neat little nifty machine. So if it is something that you might like to try out, I will leave a link in my description and also at the top of the at the top of the comments if you would like to use my affiliate link to check it out on Amazon. Like I said, I bought it. The instructions were really not that clear, and I wasn't able to find a lot of instructions online. You hear it's beeping. It's telling me that it's ready to go. So at this point, I simply pull it out, close it. I'm going to just tap it down just a bit here. I'm going to go ahead and use it on the table outside of here to make sure it's tapped all the way down, because I want to make sure my glue is touching. And then I'm going to set it right back here. This is the little cooling tray, and it'll cool off. And I would say I'd probably let it cool for, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, at least until it's not warm to the touch, and then you can open up your book. Since I am done, I do not have another set of papers to bind together. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off and wait for this to cool off a little bit. And once it's cooled off, then we will open it up and see what happens. I'm not going to just chatter along for the next 10 minutes, so I will be back when it is ready to take a look at our thermal bound notebook or paper pad. Alrighty, we are back. It's been about 10 minutes or so, maybe 15 minutes since I set the my pad in the back portion of the thermal heat binder just to cool off. And I just want to show you how it turned out. I think it turned out pretty good. The papers that I have are bound. This is the notebook. This is the back of the notebook. This is the inside of the notebook. I guess if I hold it like this, no papers fall out. They're all kind of adhered to the inside. I can open it up, and if I wanted to use this kind of as a notebook where I was going to draw in or write in, I could open it up all the way. It's still a tad bit warm, but it seems to be doing pretty good. Let's see. The biggest, the key thing here is to make sure that your pages are all the way to the, I guess, that your pages touch where the glue is on your bind, because that's what's going to make them stay. You have to make sure that this glue stick portion touches the cover where you have the little, this is what, about maybe 1/8 of an inch, probably a little bit, maybe a little bit larger. So you want to make sure you have enough glue on the spine so that all of your papers go in and touch that glue. So when it heats up, it actually catches. The first few that I didn't have straight edges on my pages, so some were not caught in there. But since then, I've made sure that I've cut the very ends. Right now, I'm just using a paper trimmer. I hope to get one of the larger paper cutters, and if I do, I would probably make these more and maybe even have these in my shop, because what I would do is after I put them together, I would trim them down so they're a little bit more professional. You know, right now the pages are not all equal, and that's okay because I'm using it as a tear book. But I would probably then cut this part down, cut it down here, and cut it here so that everything would be uniform. But I don't have one of those cutters yet, so for now, this is what I'm using, and it works. And so maybe when I do a video of me making my master boards for some of my junk journal projects, I'll pull out one of these pads and use some of the jelly prints that I have created. I absolutely love these. They add texture to any project and just something different that you will never find anywhere else because you created it. Okay, thanks so very much for watching this video. And if it was helpful to you, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And this video is sponsored by my Etsy shop, and I will put a link to that in the description if you want to take a look and see if there are any junk journal supplies that you might be interested in. Thanks again so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.